Washed Up Sports Podcast.
Washed Up Sports Podcast. Washed Up Sports Podcast. What's going on? 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 What's going on, guys?
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a Washed Up Sports Podcast. This is episode 39. My name is Evan Klein, and I'm glad to be joined alongside my co-host, Max Lindley.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, beautiful people? We are back, regularly scheduled programming, 12 p.m. Eastern, Thursdays, as always. This is a great transition. If you want to hear that broadcast a day early, go subscribe on Patreon. Otherwise, it's coming to you 12 p.m. on Thursdays. Also, if you want an ad-free broadcast, go subscribe on Patreon. Otherwise, here's a word from our sponsors.
Today's episode is brought to you by the Daily Scoop. Daily Scoop is the premier dog walking and pet sitting service in Bergen County, located in Glen Rock. Daily Scoop provides service not only to Glen Rock, but to several surrounding towns as well. They ensure that you are getting the best possible care for your pets while you cannot be with them. From the simple dog walk to daycare, at the Daily Scoop, they have you covered. And if you need to leave town to visit your family or friends for the weekend, have no fear. Daily Scoop offers pet sitting services as well. Inquire for more at www.thedailyscoop.com. That's scoop with a K at www.thedailyscoop.com. Here's Max with their Instagram.
Daily Scoop LLC. Check them out. Scoop with a K.
Today's episode is in partnership with the Retro Recovery. Retro Recovery is New Jersey's #1 source for vintage clothing and 90s nostalgia. From vintage football jerseys and starter jackets for the draft to vintage baseball tees and caps for opening day, the Retro Recovery has you covered. Get you swagged out. And free shipping is offered nationwide.
Hell yeah.
Woo! Shop the spring collection now at theretrorecovery.com. And if you want to save a buck, use code WASHEDUP, that's WASHEDUP, for 10% off of your order. That's code WASHEDUP at theretrorecovery.com for 10% off your order. Get your gear now.
Thank you to our sponsors. We are an authentic sports commentary from the perspective of two washed-up athletes.
Absolutely. And kind of continuing on the trend that we were going on last week, we have an awesome guest today, Jared Brassil, new host, going to be my co-host on Chirps and Chel. He joined us for a great conversation, little interview, just introducing everybody to the new squad. So that's exciting. That's coming in a little bit.
Right, part 2 of 3 of the preview series.
Yeah, and then we got some good guests coming after that.
Yeah. Yep. Exciting time to buy in, as I say.
As Evan loves to say, he says, "Buy it now." Even though all you guys are doing is just listening.
Get in while you can. Why do you think they say buy low, sell high? We're low right now, so buy it.
We're not low.
kidding.
Evan's just talking out of his ass. But
that's exactly what I'm doing.
Before we get into the interview and the rest of this awesome episode, Evan, we had some golf this weekend, some electric golf.
We did. Patrick Cantlay continues to dominate, beating out Rahm for the big trophy over at the Tour Championship. It was very interesting because, obviously with the way the FedEx Cup playoffs works is they make those playoff events, you start with that lead and you get, it counts for more. So winning it counts for more than a regular event. And, a lot of people don't like that it gives them the advantage. But, I was having a conversation with one of my roommates and he was like, I kind of felt that way at first, which sometimes I don't like that because I feel like everybody should start on even playing field. But if you want a playoff style thing, you kind of have to, let people have, there's got to be some skin in the game like that. So that is what it is. And, Cantlay, he came out and, it's a convincing performance against, one of the world's best in John Rahm, who we both picked last week. And, that was just impressive from him. Brooks, we were going to say Koepka hurt his wrist on a nasty route and had to withdraw. Thoughts, Max?
Did you see this?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, dude, the shot, and then apparently the route was completely hidden by the grass. and neither his caddy or him saw it beforehand. And then when you watch the shot back, you can see his like club when it hits the ground contort back because the root is there. And I can't even imagine what that does to your arm because I've done that and chunked the ball and it hurts.
Yeah. No,
I'm sure, Evan, you have too.
Yeah. I had a friend who I was playing around with one time. It was like the first hole, and it wasn't a great swing, and he hit the ground a little bit before he hit the ball, and his shoulder just completely just like, and he was like
Ooh.
down, like literally like holding his shoulder, like popped one of the joints or something like that up there.
Oh,
It was something terrible.
jeez.
So it was like really, really bad. So like it is like that, the shock that kind of like could send up like that and it contort a little bit, you know, it's serious stuff. So hopefully,
Absolutely.
hopefully Brooksy's all right.
Yeah, I
You
hope
know.
so. We had a nice comment about our Brooksy segment
Brooksy.
last week.
That's why I just laughed because of the Brooksy thing. That was freaking hilarious on our YouTube channel.
Go check it out, guys.
Yeah, go to the last video about the Bryson and Brooksy thing and look at this guy's comment, and you'll just like, it's unbelievable. Just guy wrote
I'll put
a
the card
storybook,
here.
just
Yeah.
a storybook, a British storybook.
Should we invite him on the podcast?
Dude, maybe. I mean, he was very
Come talk
invested.
about these blokes.
Yeah, he was very invested, and he really he had a lot of like, you know, British lingo going. It was something else.
It was good.
So it was. But you know, continuing on the golf path, we got Kevin Na looking brilliant, making a case for Ryder Cup, trying to, you know, trying to get himself in there. Bryson finished T6.
Just figured we'd mention it with the
Brooksy.
beef going on.
Yeah. People are over it, but like I'm not over it. I like it.
I think golf makes it exciting.
Golf needs more of that
Yeah.
type of stuff. You know, there isn't that type of, you know, rivalry stuff and energy in golf, and I think it can't hurt the game. I think it'll only put more eyes on the game, which is definitely important.
Absolutely. So that's the golf season. Next up, we got the Ryder Cup, as we mentioned just a second ago. So we'll talk about that more once it comes closer. I can't remember the exact date right now, but it's pretty soon. Moving on, we got a segment we introduced last week, Around the Horn. Evan, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Are you gonna hold up the clock for me again?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Ready?
Cool.
3,
Yeah.
2, 1, go.
So we are back at Around the Horn. Very excited to continue this 2 minutes. Just talk about some ball, you know, ball games. So you know, I want to talk about the San Francisco Giants because they just wrapped up. You know, they've been, you know, neck and neck really with the second place Los Angeles Dodgers, who, you know, opened the season as a World Series favorite, and you know, still very well could find themselves, you know, making the wild card and then, or even winning the division and you know, being in the World Series. But anyway, Giants in their last game, they were playing against each other. So it was the last series between the two of the season. Kind of a fluke from the MLB to, you know, have this be the last one. I wish in the schedule they had one really late down the stretch just, you know, to see how it was going to go. But, you know, San Francisco came out on top, took possession of first place the way, you know, they've been coming out with tough wins, the way they've been doing all season. And, you know, it's because of, you know, guys like Buster Posey, who's just having an unbelievable comeback year for himself. You know, people thought Posey was done, and for him to, you know, come back the way he has, absolutely unbelievable. And the thing is, they don't have the most star-studded roster in San Francisco. It's a good team, don't get me wrong. It's a very good roster, but it's not the best roster. But the thing is, they play like a team, and, you know, they play well together. There's, you know, the clubhouse is obviously strong, and they play really good team baseball together, and they find a way to win close, tough games. They're always chipping away, and it's a team that you're never going to count out. So, you know, for that reason, I'm just so impressed with the Giants right now, and top to bottom, what they've been able to put together from their star players to, you know, even just role players, you know, coming in and doing jobs. They get jobs done, and I think that's super important down the stretch. Look out for the Giants in the postseason because they're for real. And, you know, if you haven't bought in, which a lot of people have, you know, it's very, very convincing. So, you know, go San Francisco because I'm just impressed with them, and I think, you know, they're a fun team. So, you know, that's kind of all for today Around the Horn, but very exciting. So that's it.
Oh, I love it. Also, I love that Buster Posey is back. He used to be one of my favorite players to watch.
Didn't you have his glove?
Yep.
I remember that.
How'd you remember that?
because we both used to catch, and I remember when you got that glove, you were like so proud of it, and you were like showing it to me. I remember because we used to catch for the same team, so I remember.
No,
you would
true.
always-
Yeah,
you-
yeah.
you know.
I hardly remembered that until you brought it. Like I wouldn't have remembered that unless you
You know
brought
my
it up.
memory. I have a crazy
Yeah,
memory like
no,
that.
you do. Yeah. No, that was a great glove. I love that glove.
Yeah, that was. I remember you let me use it once, and I was like, "This is a great glove."
It's awesome, dude. They
Yeah.
come so stiff. It's perfect for a catcher.
Right. I remember I used it, and I was like, "This glove hurts my hand way less than my other glove." Just like when you
I
receive,
liked
it's
your
a lot
glove though. You
it's a
had
lot
like a
smoother.
throwback glove where you can like if you were
I had a
catching
few.
like yeah, if you were catching like someone who threw nasty stuff and not just heat, like you had the great glove for that, where you have that big circle that you could catch everything in.
Yeah. Are you talking about the tan one or the all
Yeah,
black one?
the tan one, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure.
Yeah. That
Where
was
it had
actually
the
my
big pocket.
yeah, that was my brother's in high school, and then he gave it to me, and it was just so like nicely broken in for from when my brother was in high school. I used that, and I love that glove. It didn't last me all of high school, but I did love that glove.
Yo, I actually on a baseball note, before we get in this interview, I pitched with my dad yesterday or 2 days
Is-
ago.
Just like he was catching,
Yeah,
you were just going full throttle.
pretty much. Yeah,
How was it?
really good. I have a really good splitter. I taught myself how to throw a splitter.
Nice,
I'm trying to find a league or something, bro, where I
dude.
can
I'd
just pitch.
play in a men's league, dude.
I just want to
I would be
pitch.
down to get some people together, do a
I don't
men's
want to
league.
fucking hit. I don't even care about hitting. I just want to pitch.
That
You know what I mean? But
would
my
be
arm,
fun.
dude, my arm was so sore yesterday.
Oh, I'm sure.
I like went to throw a tennis ball to my dog and like it went like 10 feet. And I was like, oh shit, I got ice.
That's wild. That's
Yeah.
wild. That's awesome, though.
I'll keep you
No doubt.
updated on my endeavors with that.
Yeah, keep that splitter moving. Let's see how that goes.
Dude, it was looking good. It was looking really
I'll
good.
Once I get back in town, we'll do more live ABs. I owe you a hit because you shut me down the first
Yeah.
time.
I don't think you'd be able to hit the splitter.
We'll see about that.
All right. We'll
I'm
do another one
confident.
once you're
I'm
back
confident.
in town.
I know.
All right, look out Thanksgiving, fellas, or Christmas. in the winter in the cold, we'll
Oh
do
my
it.
god, the bat sting. Ugh.
Use a wood bat.
Yeah, I could do that. That hurts too.
That could be worse.
Yeah, it is bad. That does
All
hurt.
right. We're just
we're gonna get into the interview.
chopping. Let's get into the interview. You want to introduce him?
Yeah, so we got Jared Brassil, upcoming co-host of Chirps and Chel under the umbrella of a Washed Up Sports podcast, new show that's coming with Max and Jared, and we just gonna have an introduction to him and get to know him a little bit about what he's gonna bring to the table. So here's Jared. We are now happy to be joined by Jared Brassil, future co-host of Chirps and Chel, one of the new programs coming from a Wash Up Sports podcast. Jared, thanks for joining us, joining the team. Super happy to welcome you on today.
Yeah, I'm super excited to be a part of all this,
Yeah, absolutely. So, before we get into it, just kind of wanted our followers and subscribers to get to know you a bit more. So, if you want, just go ahead, introduce yourself, tell the people a little bit about your background in hockey and how you kind of made your way to the team and, what you're excited for.
So I have been playing hockey for pretty much my entire life. Hockey, literally been a Rangers fan my whole life, been playing hockey my whole life since I was like 5 or 6. For those of you who live near northern New Jersey, I played for the North Jersey Avalanche for a while, 1 year with the Saints, but we don't talk about that. And then I played for my high school team for 4 years. Hockey is literally my entire life. If you talk to some of my friends from here, we joke about how my entire personality revolves around hockey. And so, I'm trying to think, because Max and I were talking about this over the summer, about how this sort of started, was that I literally just swiped up on one of Max's stories. And he was breaking down the Marc-Andre Fleury thing for the main podcast. And I swiped up on it, and then we started talking. And from there, it kind of just cascaded into hey, do you want to do this? And I was like, yeah, why not? So, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, it's very exciting, and we're definitely happy to have you. You know, you're always, we went to high school, and you're a huge hockey guy. Everybody knows it, and
Yeah.
it's exciting to, be able to bring some of your knowledge to the program, and and some of that, you've been around the sport for so long. It'll be great to have some of your breakdowns for sure. So how does it feel for you that you're gonna have this space to kind of talk about it, and have even more fun with the sport from a new perspective that's already, giving you so much in a way that's new for you?
Honestly, I think it's actually quite relieving, to be completely honest. I mean, I watch hockey and I have my opinions about things that go on and whatnot, and they're pretty much reserved to myself. And so to have an outlet where I can, voice what I think about certain things and have, interaction with people, get other perspectives on it is definitely something that I look forward to. I just genuinely love talking about hockey, and I can't wait to talk about hockey with Max and, whatever interaction we get with people. I'm just so looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Yeah. We, Max and I always say how it's just like where we started it from and where it is now. It's just always for fun. And like, that's what, we kind of pride it on. And, I think, you're definitely going to feel the same way, that it's just fun. And it's a great thing that we all do together. So we're all very excited, certainly. So, what should, the viewers expect from you? What's something that you want them to know that you're going to bring to the table?
I would say that for me personally, I can be entertaining at some points, but like entertainment is definitely not my strong suit. If what I think I can bring the most is like just a high hockey intelligence. Playing the sport growing up, one of my biggest features is just that I think the game very well. And I understand the bits and pieces, what needs to happen. As I've grown up, I've gotten more into like the technical business aspect of the NHL itself. So, I tend to try and provide like argument or, perspective and like a hockey basis, not out of a like purely entertainment fashion, like some other podcasters might.
Absolutely. And I think every show needs that.
Yeah.
100%. I think
Yeah.
everybody always needs that guy, which I think is very important. And we're definitely, that's going to be very awesome to have some of your insights. So you're a student at University of Richmond.
Yes,
Are you and you were playing club hockey there for a bit? Are you still playing club hockey there?
yes, we actually had our first club hockey practice yesterday. We have 3 practices this week,
Nice.
and a game on Saturday. So yeah, I mean, we had an entire year off
Bit of a
last
fall
year.
season, bit of a fall season coming up.
Yeah, we're definitely a fall heavy team. Um, but yeah, we had an entire year off, and we're just getting back into the swing of things. It's kind of crazy to be back on the ice for the first time in a year.
Absolutely. That's exciting. And I think, we Max and I will try to live through you a little bit, because we're, still the washed up athletes, but you have a few more years going for yourself too,
Yeah,
before
I
you
kind of
can
delayed
give
the
yourself the
pain.
title. Exactly.
Exactly.
Exactly. Delayed the pain. That's the way
Yeah.
that I would put it. But no doubt. So, you said before you're a really big, Ranger fan, and um, you know, I know Ranger fans are always excited to have a space where they can, express their frustration, and you're going to bring that passion about the Rangers and NHL in general. So, Rangers have had a lot of, ups and downs over the past number of years. How are you feeling about them going into next hockey season? Kind of wanted to get a quick little, like a little breakdown from you.
Yeah, so my quick little breakdown about how the Rangers are going to fare next season. I think that they'll be better than they were last year. You expect a bunch of people to make a few steps forward. Alexi Lafreniere should be better. Capo Caco hopefully should be better, because this is his 3rd year now. Plus, a bunch of the guys are playing for their next contracts. So you have that element. The only thing that I question is that they play in arguably one of the hardest and most solidified divisions in the NHL. Like if you look at how the playoffs are going to stack up, because why wouldn't you already talk about it? Capitals, Islanders, Penguins, and the Hurricanes are all in the same division as the Rangers. And they're all old veteran teams that know how to win. And so if you're a team like the Rangers, how do you fit into that? That's the big sort of question mark I have for the Rangers going into the season.
Absolutely, yeah, and I think it's going to be important to see. They have some veteran leadership that's coming from Artemi Panarin, who's honestly like not that old, and then Zibanejad as well. I know there's obviously been rumors for so long now about if they were going to try to get Jack Eichel and what that trade would entail. I guess that's definitely a story for another time. But
Yeah, that is definitely a story from another time. I threw this out when I was working somewhere over the summer. I was like, if the Rangers got Eichel, they could technically ice a first line of Eichel, Panarin, and Alexi Lafreniere, and that is a scary first line.
right, because I think if that trade was to go through, Zibanejad would be included, but I don't think have to
Yeah,
Panarin probably
I
wouldn't
I
be
don't know
included. So
necessarily if Zibanejad would be included. I think that out of the main Rangers, probably Zibanejad or Kreider would be the ones on the chopping block. I think probably especially Kreider, or
right,
at least personally, who I would want to see go, because Kreider is, I believe, a bigger cap hit than Mika Zibanejad, and he doesn't necessarily play up to his performance.
right.
So
Um,
it's very interesting. I think
yeah,
that everything going on there is crazy.
yeah. I'm happy that we're getting a little like mini sample segment from you
Yeah,
right
exactly.
here.
Exactly.
But and it's interesting because like if you're coming from the Sabre standpoint, Eichel seems like he maybe doesn't want to be there, but you're a team that's so like down bad that you think they would have to go for more of like prospects and younger guys and just reignite that rebuild over in Buffalo.
Yeah, I've heard at least from the Rangers point of view, Vitaly Kravtsov going over, who's a young prospect that the Rangers have.
Right.
The other big team I've heard is the Anaheim Ducks, and the Ducks have a couple really young prospects because they went through the same thing that Buffalo has to go through now. So it sucks
Right.
for Buffalo because they went through the pain and tried to rebuild around Eichel, and that didn't work, and now they have to tear it all down again.
Right. I mean, they were one of the hottest teams in hockey, not this past season, but the season before in the first half of the season. They were one of the hottest teams in hockey. And then it kind of just fell apart in Sabres fashion, which is, as a guy, I'm back up in Buffalo now, the
Yep.
pain from these Sabres fans is, it's real. I can tell you that much, it's not that bad for me though, because once we get a month into the season, the tickets become $7 and I can head down to the Key Bank Center and see a little cheap hockey. The beer costs more than the ticket. That's what I say. So,
Yeah.
um, I'm spending more on the beer and the food than I am to even getting the freaking the game. But when you were talking about the division, I saw you didn't really even mention my Devils being a threat this year because we know it. The Dougie Hamilton, Thomas Tatar, they're coming, they're knocking. It's finally happening. Max knows I say this every day, but it's coming. I'm telling you guys.
Not to completely blow away everything that Max and I have, preliminarily planned or whatnot, but we
Right.
have been talking, and the Devils legitimately might have had the best offseason in the NHL. Them and the
I
Arizona Coyotes might have had the
Yep.
best. And the Devils did get better, but the Devils were nowhere close to the playoffs last year. So
Right. No,
they got
terrible last
better,
year.
but they're not there yet.
No, yeah, I definitely, I'm always that hopeful Devils fan,
Oh
but
yeah,
I
you
see
have
that
to be.
Max and Jared, maybe we'll have to get me and Maselli on for a little rivalry, a little Devils Rangers rivalry talk sometime. You never know, right? But I'm certainly pumped. Max, what time are we at? How many minutes? Do you know?
We've been going for 15, so you got like
Okay,
3 more minutes.
3 more minutes. Okay, we'll
Yeah.
start to wrap then. Okay. So, building off that a little, Jared, very happy we kind of got to get like some first takes in there for, and give some of the listeners, a little piece of what's to come because that guys, that's Jared for you. He's giving you that good analytical take that you need in a podcast. So Chirps and Chel is coming very soon. Is there a date for that yet? That's set in stone, or we don't have a set in stone date yet?
It's not set in stone yet. I think we've talked about starting it up like the first week of October, because you have preseason games starting, at the end of this month, but the regular season doesn't open up till October 13th. So
Okay. Beauty. So we will you guys, this is going to be big. Chirps and Chel. It's going to be a great hockey podcast coming under the umbrella of Washed Up Sports Podcast. Now you've met Jared, the second edition we had our preview with Tyler, host of Tyler's Tailgate Talk last week. We got Jared from Chirps and Chel this week. So, this is that stuff that's been in the works, and now you finally get to meet Jared. So, Jared, we are absolutely thrilled to have you. Looking forward to the work that you're going to do, and very excited. So, thank you so much for being here today to give this introductory chat, and looking forward to listening to you.
yeah, I mean, thank you guys for, the opportunity to be a part of this. I'm extremely looking forward to it. To anybody who ends up listening to it, we'd love to have you as a listener for our podcast. And the biggest thing that I will say is I also always encourage feedback and, a sort of give and take with the listeners, because I think that elevates, anything that you do. If you have that feedback, what people want to talk about. And it also helps you think about, the opinions that you have. So I'm really looking forward to it.
He's a pro already, guys. Spoken like the wise man that he is.
Yeah,
There's a reason we called him Grandpa in high school.
exactly.
All right, Jared. Take care, and thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Welcome back from that interview with Jared Brassil. Very, very thankful he had the time to come on, and excited to see what you and him are going to do coming up this fall, Max.
Absolutely. Yeah. We mentioned getting Maselli on the podcast, talking some Rangers and Devils talk, maybe some Bruins talk in there too.
Yeah.
I think that worked pretty well.
That'd
be a fun episode.
Could be fun.
Yeah.
Now, so Max, take us into our bread and butter for the evening.
Our bread and freaking butter. It's NFL Talkie Talk. NFL Talk time. Let's go.
It's finally back,
It's back, guys.
Is, 1 year later.
Yeah, guys. So as you are listening to this, take a smell of the air. Remember where you're standing, because on this day, Thursday, NFL football is back at 8:20 p.m. Eastern time. So get pumped,
Yes.
get excited, because it's back, and we're going to pick the games in a little bit.
I'm gonna get
Pick 'em is back.
I'm gonna get my trophy back. I'm gonna repeat. So I'm very excited. What I was gonna say was, we have to be coming up, if not already, on a year since we started the podcast. Because I remember the first podcast we did was about right before week 1 of the NFL, wasn't it? Or was it?
I think it was October.
Maybe it was October. I don't know. I felt like we were close, but I do kind of want to check to see when our first episode dropped, so we can, I don't know. I think it's worth recognizing. I don't know.
I'm checking right now. October 1st.
Nice. Getting there.
So we're pretty close, a month away from a year.
Yeah.
That's exciting. And we've done a lot of shit in a year too.
Tons of shit.
We got we did a tournament. We did a live stream.
Events.
Done a ton of IG lives. We've done the podcast nearly every week. You know what I mean?
We've probably
taken
podcasts. Yeah. Growth.
Yeah, guys, thank you for hanging with us for a whole year. Pretty much 11 months strong.
Absolutely. So,
Facts.
let's hop into it, Max. Get us going with this NFL talk.
Okay, so before Pick'em, we wanted to go over some of our favorite games that are coming this week. And to start it off, we got the Jets, the New York Jets versus the Carolina Panthers. Now, normally you'd be like, these two teams suck. I don't expect much from either of these teams, but Sam Darnold facing off first game of the season against his former team. So what's this going to look like, Ev? Like, are you excited for this game?
I am.
The Jets kind of have a different team now. They got Robert Saleh as their head coach.
Yeah.
They got a new quarterback. So what are you looking for?
Yep. It's definitely going to be something to look out for. Obviously the headline is Sam Darnold going up against his team, and Zach Wilson's the quarterback that essentially took his spot. So it's very, very interesting to see a little. I feel like Sam Darnold's going in there, kind of saying, look at what you're missing out on. So he's going to come in firing. I think he's going to play a tough ball game, and the Jets, their new Jets team, and if they can get off to a 1-0 start, I think the Panthers they're not the strongest team out there. So I think the Jets have a good chance to, win this game as well. But I think the Panthers are personally gonna come out there. I think Wilson's good. I think he's very good. I think he might go through some growing pains, but I think he looked good in the preseason. So very excited for this game. Very excited to see how it turns, and very excited to see Darnold go up against the old folks and try to prove him wrong. Very, very interesting over there. So. Did I mention that it was interesting? I think I said that about like 5 fucking times.
No, you're good. I think it's interesting that he's also getting reunited with Robbie Anderson.
True.
Yeah, so that could be very, very cool to see next week. We'll see how that chemistry is after a year or two away from each other.
Yeah, I mean, if things don't go well for Sam in the first half, look out for my boy PJ Walker out of Temple, coming back, and
I don't think they'll bench him the first game.
No, neither do I.
No.
But I do like PJ Walker. Always a supporter of his.
Gotcha. Next game that we picked out: Washington football team playing the Los Angeles Chargers. So we got the elite defense and defensive line of Washington that we talked about a bunch last year, talked about a couple episodes when we were mentioning good defenses and stuff along that line, and Justin Herbert going into his second year. This is a really exciting game because nobody really knows what to expect out of these two really young teams, because like Herbert, second year, he had an elite year last year. Who knows if he's going to be able to match that? And then also the football team had a great defense last year, and this year they have Fitzmagic, right? So it's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Washington defense is really, really great. Good run game in Antonio Gibson, J.D. McKissick, and newly 53-man roster made Jarrett Patterson out of the University of Buffalo.
Hell yeah! Shouts out.
Raised eyebrows in the preseason, so very excited to see him get in the mix. But I think that the Chargers are Justin Herbert's a great quarterback. I think he's a great little quarterback, and I think he's gonna lead his team to a victory this week. It's gonna be tough defense, but I just don't think Fitzmagic has it like that with the type of offense. They have Terry McLaurin and a good run game, but not much else in my opinion. So I think that's gonna be a struggle from them. Their backup is Taylor Heineke, who came in and had a couple good games last season. Showed us some stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if we were able to maybe see him at some point this year. I do like him actually. Surprise, much to some people's surprise. I think I do like Taylor Heineke, and I don't think it's that bad of a choice to maybe see what he has, at the expense of Fitzmagic, who's been around the block a few times. So that's kind of my take on the full team, but I think Chargers by a lot this weekend, in my opinion.
We're not picking games yet, but I will say I think the Washington football team will win this game. I think that offense, especially with a veteran like Fitzmagic behind it, they're going to be way more fine-tuned. You got Terry McLaurin, as you mentioned. You have
because we have different
insane
opinions.
Running backs. No, what?
Can we add that on to Pick'em just because we
sure, we can add it on to
All right.
Pick'em. I'll take the Washington football team to start off Pick'em.
Okay.
But we
Jot
got
it
a couple
down.
more we got a couple more headlines to get to, so we'll revisit it.
We do.
We got the return of Joe Burrow. And I just wanted to say, look the fuck out for Joe Burrow. I feel like he's getting a little slept on, and he got Jamar Chase this offseason. He's got what's his name? Who was there last year? Had a great season.
T. Higgins.
T. Higgins, who was his reliable receiver last year. He's got
Tyler
Joe
Boyd.
Mixon healthy this year. He's got Tyler Boyd healthy this year. Look out. If the O-line can protect them, they're going to be good.
That's an if.
And that AFC North, I know it's an if, but that
Big
AFC
if.
North is so good. And I feel they could be the ones to fuck it up for some teams later in the year if they're not up there competing.
No, yeah, I'm
You
with
know?
you. I think honestly, if they can protect Joe Burrow and not, and they got to keep him safe because he that was a shame last year, and
Yep.
so
Hate to see
I
it.
really, yeah, you really do. So I really hope he can stay on the field, protect Joe Burrow, or else what you're only as good as your weakest link, and right now their weakest link
This
is
is O-line.
their offensive line. So let's see what happens there.
Absolutely. And they did get a guard in the draft, so they're trying to bolster the line. They got Jackson Carman in the second round. So at least that they put in an effort this offseason to try to bolster that line a little bit.
Right. I'm with you. I think they should have maybe went for that in round 1, but
No. Yeah.
That's
Jamar
just my-
Chase is going to be electric there, I think.
we'll see.
We will for sure. Last thing, the Bama game Sunday, Mac Jones versus Tua Tagovailoa. Evan, what do you think is going down in this game? What are you looking for?
Pats by a million, baby. Let's go. They're
All right, we got an
they're gonna come.
unbiased analysis now.
Nah, they're gonna come out firing. It's gonna be good. Tua's good. Dolphins are pretty good. Waddle's good. Good little draft pick there. But
Devontae Parker coming back.
yeah, I don't. Their defense is solid. The Dolphins are a good little team, but Patriots are back. They're back.
I'll see it when I believe it.
Last year you all had your fun in games, but we're back and we're coming out firing. So just get ready for a laser show over in Gillette Stadium over in Foxborough this season.
Awesome. You ready to get into pick 'em?
I am ready.
Starting off with the Thursday night game, Cowboys versus Bucks. Who you picking?
Buccaneers.
I'm picking the Buccaneers as well. I think
Have
that's
to.
a solid pick.
Yeah.
Next up, Washington football team versus the Chargers. You're going Chargers. I'm going football team.
Yep, that's what we decided on. We jumped the gun a little on that
Absolutely.
one, but I was eager.
You were eager. Next up, the Battle of the Birds.
Oh yeah.
Falcons versus Eagles.
I'm gonna
You
go
pick
Falcons.
first. I'm going Eagles here.
Okay.
Although I do think the Falcons have a great chance of winning this game.
It'll be a good game. It's gonna be a
ju-
good ball game.
I just want to see. I have a little faith in Jalen Hurts right now.
No, I do too. I don't think I think the Eagles will probably win the division.
I don't know about that. We'll see.
That's
I didn't
honestly
disagree
my take.
when we said that a couple weeks ago. I didn't disagree with you. I just don't know anymore. That division's such a fucking toss up.
It is. It's going to be a shit show again. But I actually, if I had to take an early pick on the division, I'm taking the Eagles. But I do think they're going to drop this first week game to the Falcons. But I do like Jalen Hurts, and I believe in him. So,
Yeah. Seahawks versus the Colts.
Ooh, it's a good game.
I'm going Hawks.
I'm going to go with the Seahawks.
Me
Yeah,
too.
both of us go.
So we're in
Hawks there.
consensus there. Two more, Browns versus Chiefs.
Browns versus Chiefs. I'm gonna go with the Browns.
I'm going to go with the Chiefs. I can't remember the last time they've lost the first game of the season.
I know, but I'm just gonna. I think the Chiefs will probably win, but I want to keep my picks interesting right now. And the Browns are. I love the Browns, so I just want to have some faith in them this week, just for fun. So Chiefs are gonna come out firing. We all know what they can do. Obviously, if I have to make a crazy decision, like everybody, like whatever, like I'm gonna take the Chiefs. But for the sake of the pick, I'm taking the Browns because I think they're a good football team and they have a chance. So.
All right. I'm taking the Chiefs.
I don't have to explain
Lastly-
myself, but I felt like I did there.
Well, feel free to explain yourself. It's your fucking podcast, brother. Lastly, we got Ravens versus the Raiders.
Love it.
Monday night football, first Monday night game of the season.
I already know we're gonna have different picks on this one.
I'm taking the Raiders, baby.
I know
Gotta
you are. I'm
gotta
taking the
bleed
Ravens.
black and silver for my mom. You know that.
Yep.
You
I'm gonna
know
go with the
that.
Ravens. I'm gonna go with the Ravens. I remember.
I do think
last
that's going to be
year-
a good game, though. I think it's going to be a better game than people are expecting.
No, it will be a good game. The Raiders are good for sure. Ravens are also good. I'm just gonna take them here. But I remember last year, like after the one of the good Raiders games where they had a nice win, we filmed the podcast and then went upstairs. Your mom was like, "Did you talk about the Raiders? Did you talk about Carr? How could you not talk about Carr?"
Yep. She loves
So,
him, dude.
Yeah. So,
Hopefully, Carr can have a good year this year.
yeah.
Because it really is one of those years where if like if he sucks this year, it's really put up or shut up. I could see them putting Mariota in halfway through the year.
Yeah,
if they
I don't even
Carr
think
sucks.
I think he just like has like a bad string of luck. I don't even think Derek Carr is bad. I think he is.
I
good.
totally agree with you. I think he's a solid quarterback.
Yeah, he is very athletic too. He like does a lot of different things.
He's never put out like he's never, obviously he's had poor seasons, but he's never had like those seasons where he's like thrown 30 picks and like just completely fucking it up for the whole team. Like
No,
usually
yeah.
it's a combination of a lot of bad things happening to the Raiders.
No, yeah, you're right.
Injuries. I mean, like we could think back to, sorry, not to go off on a tangent, but we could think back to like, I think it was 2014, 2015, 2016. The Raiders were like 10-2 or something. And then Carr like broke something and he was out for the rest of the year. Like they were good that year. I remember they beat the Chiefs in like overtime. This was a while ago. Go back and look. If you can find the game I'm talking about, guys, in the comments or whoever, I'll love you forever. Because that was an electric game. Chiefs, Raiders, overtime. Whatever. The Raiders were good. So I think they could be good again.
Yeah, I mean, I respect your take there.
Yeah. So that's it for the pod, I think.
That's it. I mean, great little episode we put together there. Excited for our 40th next week.
Yeah.
Make sure you follow the Instagram, subscribe to the YouTube. Make sure you follow us on all of our social medias. Subscribe on the social medias. Consider subscribing to Patreon for a measly $2 a month. And big guests in the next few weeks. Look out, Piscataway.
Look out.
So
We got some stuff in the works.
Stuff in the works.
Before we get out of here, Ev, I do like we talked about it a little earlier. It is a huge like we're gonna hit the 40th episode next week, and then the month we're gonna hit a year. Like it's pretty insane. We got
milestone time,
and like by the time that we hit a year, we'll have a whole nother podcast, Tyler's Tailgate Talk, which comes out Friday. You guys should check that out if you haven't. And then we'll have 2 other shows that are coming out shortly after that, So like look at that growth.
Some things to be proud of.
Yeah,
some things to be proud of for sure.
Let's get a fist bump. Can we do that? We used to do it on screen. Boom. Fire.
Oh, my camera has to refocus.
Yeah. You're not in focus. No. Wait for Evan. Oh, there you go. Hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah. You should
funny.
shut off autofocus though.
Yeah, I don't even know how to do that.
I'll teach you when we're done.
Okay.
All right, guys.
All right, guys.
Great episode. Thank you.
Alrighty, take care.
Appreciate you all. Peace.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to check out the rest of our channel and subscribe. Make sure to follow our Instagram and maybe consider subscribing on Patreon for our bonus content. You can only find it there. I promise it will be well worth it. Thanks.